have accused of
member of Congress.
All right, so this is a section on Ilhan. You know, it's funny, when he first started this, he was tiptoeing into this. He was pretty tepid. But it landed on a full-throated support of Ilhan and a denunciation of the disgusting attack that Donald Trump laid on her. I swear to God, if anything happens to her, this is on his head. Donald Trump likes to put off, oh, I didn't have anything to do with this, you know, the killings in New Zealand. I didn't have anything to do with this other thing that took place. He likes to put all of that stuff off when people put that on him. And fair enough. I don't know if you could say a killing that took place in New Zealand had to do with Donald Trump. I don't even know if you could say the killings that took place in the States entirely were related to Donald Trump. But in the case where he's using 9/11 and is associating that with a member of Congress that just so happens to be Muslim, that is dramatically problematic. That is extremely problematic. And ironic, since his close relationship with the Saudis, and it just so happens those were the people that were on those planes. Let's hear Sanders makes this case for Ilhan. Omar.
I've talked to Ilhan about twice in my life, so
but you've
I respect her.
Tweeted support.
But this is what I do support. I support a Muslim member of Congress not to be attacked every single day in outrageous racist remarks.
Sure. My question is that even some fellow Democrats had some problems, have accused her of using language kind of associated with anti-Semitism. Can you understand why some...
Right there. Right fucking there. So, look, man, sometimes I get accused sometimes of looking at the world through a lens of cause and effect. And sometimes that gets you into this ends justifies the means thinking. Fortunately, I have a wife that sometimes rattles me out of that particular perspective of things because there's human elements into the way that we interact with one another. But in a political landscape, you have a party system, Democratic Party, Republican Party. And the Democratic Party has screamed that their cultural diversity is an asset. And they've used the cultural diversity to say, look, there's a hegemonic viewpoint against being racist, and we are a party of diversity, and the president is racist. So fair enough. If that's what you want to do and that's how you want to run your party, fair enough. One of the members of your party, who's a member of this diversity, and by definition, diversity means you're going to have a diversity of opinions because various people have various slices of life that they've experienced in their time in this country or in coming into this country, and they enunciate that. They're not wrong for doing so. The party itself attacked her initially with starting from a disingenuous attack from a Republican who had been accused of anti-Semitism itself. And what they attacked her on was something that she was absolutely right on. Lobbyists do use money for influence peddling. They tried to say it was anti-Semitic because she was talking about AIPAC. Now, the Democratic Party turns and attacks her on this and splits the party in doing so because there's some members of the party that say, well, wait a minute, this is bogus. And you have right-wingers that are now using the fact that members of the Democratic Party was attacking itself to bolster the attacks on that member of Congress. So now Donald Trump puts out a racist Islamophobic tweet. And that tweet now gets blown up by right-wing media. And this right-wing media is now asking one Bernie Sanders about this congressman and is saying, hey, but didn't even members of your own party go after her for being racist or for being anti-Semitic? You guys attacked her for something and allowed her to be far more of a target than what she should have been under normal circumstances had you stayed and supported members of your party. For all this talk of diversity, you was able to let her go to the wolves right early on. Fortunately, at the very least from the standpoint of one Bernie Sanders, he did back her up. I'm going to let the beginning of this question be played so you can hear the entirety of the question.
A Muslim member of Congress not to be attacked, but at the end of the day, I believe that the decision over abortion belongs to a woman.
A staunch supporter of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who even...
Hold on. No. I've talked to Ilhan about twice in my life, so
But you've
I respect her.
tweeted support for
But this is what I do support. I support a Muslim member of Congress not to be attacked every single day in outrageous racist remarks.
Sure. My question is that even some fellow Democrats had some problems, have accused her of using language kind of associated with anti-Semitism. Can you understand why some Jewish Americans would have a problem with some of that?
Yeah, I can understand. I think that is not quite right, and I think that Ilhana's got to do maybe a better job in speaking to the Jewish community. But if your question to me is, do I think she is anti-Semitic? No, I don't.
No, it's not her. I'm saying in the thread in
Yeah,
the
I can understand.
Democratic
But
Party.
here is the point also. I'm Jewish. I lost, my father's family was devastated by Hitler. So this is an issue of some sensitivity to me. So I will do everything in my power, and I hope that every member of Congress will fight not only anti-Semitism, but racism and anti-Muslim activity so that we create a non-discriminatory society. But it is not anti-Semitic to be critical of a right-wing government in Israel. That is not anti-Semitic, okay?
Do you believe Do you believe that murderers and rapists or thieves or child molesters should have the right to vote from?
He started in a weird way, but he ended up full-throated. It is not anti-Semitic to essentially criticize the government of Israel. Now, that's a shocking perspective. From the standpoint of this typical bipartisan consensus on Israel, that anyone with any criticism gets labeled anti-Semitic. So he's going to go into this other issue of voting. I found